On my way back to Northfield from the Meadows. Kind of a crappy afternoon. Two breaks with two favorites that absolutely could have won for two very different reasons. So let's start with how my day went. It didn't start bad, and hopefully it won't finish bad tonight. It started with coming to the burn and training Stonebridge Simba. Now, Jason had said to me, put him in the bike. He said, what do you think? I said, he's a big boy. I'm going to let him tell me what he wants to do. He can be erratic sometimes. Sometimes he can pull. Sometimes he can run in. Didn't really know what today would bring with Stonebridge Simba. Trained not bad the last 2 or 3 times we went with him, but didn't really know what to think. He was ready to go. I started out of there, 29 in a piece. I just backed him up, let him coast over the half and 1-1, maybe even 1-1 and 1. I started him up down the backstretch. He looked as good as I've ever seen him. 57 flat, last half 56, maybe even 55 and 4. Last quarter 27 in a piece, and he looked exceptionally good. So I come in, I got a big smile on my face, still got to go with Duke Dio behind the gate, got to jog some of the babies, make sure they're okay. But not a ton to do today. Tomorrow is the big day. The big thing I had to do today was get to the tack shop and make sure every horse had their own proper equipment to train in tomorrow, to qualify in tomorrow. Now they're there. We always have enough equipment, but very nice racing equipment, so everything looks proper, prim and proper. That was my job today. So train Simba, just getting ready to go on the track with Duke Dio, and it started pouring rain. I said, oh, look at the time, I got to get to Big D's. I said Greenhawk, Big D's. And Justin Irvine was standing there and his face turned red because he knew he was on deck. I said, oh, just running out of time, I gotta go. Maybe God punished me this afternoon, I don't know. But I went up to the fence. I went up to the fence with Jason, watched him go. Man, he looked good. Now, don't read into this. I'm just making an observation of gaits. He has got a very similar gait to Spirit of Dio. Now, that's not shocking. They're both by Trixton. Big, strong, good-looking colt. He's about 10 seconds or 12 seconds slower than her right now, but man, oh man, he looked great this morning. Now, the track was sloppy by the time Justin went. It was muddy, and it was a good mile for him. Really, really good mile. I was so impressed with him today. So now I get in the car, I'm thinking I'm going to the Meadows. If I can get One My Heart Hanover around without hobbles, she's a winner, or close. If I can keep Path of Totality upright, she's a winner. I get to the track at the Meadows. One of the only horses that could beat Path of Totality scratched. 6-horse field, I'm thinking, sweet. I go with One My Heart Hanover. Now, I approached One My Heart Hanover's race with an open mind. She's never, ever gone fast in her life without hobbles on. She might have trained down a bit last year, but never, ever put in a hard training, let alone racing situation without them. I know Tim said he trained her in 2-3 last half 58, and I could see that easily could happen. But racing and training, starting gate, start, stop out of the gate, put her in a hole, track, follow, sprint down the lane, that isn't training. Two very, very different animals. So I knew coming out of the gate, remember the day she ripped her shoe off leaving the gate and swung to the pace on me. So she felt a little pacey, didn't rip her shoe off, but I could hear her. More now without hobbles, chewing at those flip-flops. The reason I know it was a flip-flop, she doesn't hit anywhere and she doesn't wear any boots. And I can hear her tick, 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 tick. She's grabbing at the rubber on the flip-flop piece. Now, we've talked about maybe taking them off her. I've threatened to a couple of times, but her feet do bother her. And when her feet get sore, her back gets sore. So I think it's more or less, maybe we'll take the flip-flops off her and just work on her feet, tub her feet a little bit, iodine them off and on periodically, pull to some other days. Just try and keep her comfortable in her feet. And obviously work on her back also, knowing that they're going to feed off one another. But today, that break, you could see in the first turn, I'm out a little bit wide. I just want her to settle. And she wasn't crazy hot. She was very manageable. Turned into a very nice, polite filly. But pacey. Right before I almost get her into the 5-hole, she almost run. And caught herself and come up trotting. And then I just tried to coddle her back into the 5-hole, and she got pacey again. And I said, no, it's not going to work this time. And I just lost her. She came back trotting, finished up very, very strong. A very good mile from her afterwards. So the big question, can she race without hobbles? I think it's unfair to demand that to be answered today. This is a filly that isn't a stake filly. I'm not chasing the Stallion Series with her anymore. She's got 2 wins. She can make up to 6 wins and make another $30,000, $40,000 between now and Christmas and be a very effective filly. It'd be nice to put her away as a 3-year-old with 70,000 on her card, a mark of, at least a mark she is now, 56 or faster, and bring her back a stronger 4-year-old. Yeah, I'd like to do that. But we're going to have to be patient. I ask for my partner's patience on this because if she wins, then she moves to the numbers of 4. If she wins, it's numbers of 5. And we're going to win those races. How we do it, when we do it, will play a big role in what the rest of her season looks like, right? I think this is a filly that could have a bright future for us. She's got a good attitude. Let's allow her to be a better horse. I think with the hobbles on, she's handier right now. But I think there is a takeaway there. I think that added comfort to be able to move her as you wish takes away for a bit from her speed or overall speed. But if she can't do it right now, that's no problem. We can put the hobbles back on her and race her. No problem at all. But I would like the opportunity to maybe school her with a different set of footwear on, see if there's a difference there. And now that, because, guys, you saw last week how mad I was that they charted Path of Totality with a break. Now you see why. Now she has to qualify. We had this trouble with Path of Totality. So finishing up with Won My Heart Hanover, I'm not worried. We just took the training wheels off this filly. I know what the trigger is. I know that those flip-flops are probably hindering her in one way and helping her in another. So let's look for a different way to help her and take away the hindrance. That's what I'm asking for. So I'll be here to school her on Tuesday off the gate, see how she feels. I think we're very, very close to having a better filly. Now, as it comes to Path of Totality, you guys saw us go through this last year. I thought she was awesome. She was strong in her qualifier. I think she came out, looked great in her first start. Made one little miscue in her first start. And I wish they hadn't charted her with a break, because in my mind, she really didn't. She just got out of gear for 2 or 3 strides and then finished up strong. They did chart her with a break, and she earned one today. She didn't want to do it today. When horses make breaks going up to the gate like that, when they're off the gate, something's bugging them. Now, knowing her history and her past, is it her knees? I don't know. I can't come on here and tell you definitively. I can tell you why she was agitated and why she made a break in the last turn. Her recovery to catch up and then stay quiet in the middle half till I moved her again was impressive. I like that. I like what I saw there. I knew we were in trouble getting into the turn. I hoped I could coax her through it, and I couldn't. She rolled off stride. So what's going on with Path of Totality? I don't know, but I can tell you I'm going to find out for sure. So I told Tim, maybe have the vet look at her. She might need those knees done. It's been 3 or 4 weeks. We're going to have to maintain them. So maybe do those knees if he needs done. And then Tim noticed also the same thing that I noticed. Tim noticed that her right stifle was shaking. So, just at the toll here. Go. What does that mean? Does the right stifle need a little internal blister? And I have to ask, if it does, why? Why does it? Is she taking weight from that left hind over onto that right stifle? These are all great questions, and I can't answer them. Really, she has to answer them. So I had said to Tim, have the vet look at her, and maybe if she feels comfortable, we can qualify her on Tuesday also. But if she's not comfortable, we'll just wait the extra week. Do it right. So that was those 2 fillies. You know what? I wasn't disappointed with Won My Heart Hanover. I saw what she did. I saw what she was trying to do, but when she finally settled in and was allowed to do her work properly, she raced well. She did her work well. Passed the horse down the lane. Beat, 4 or 5 lengths at 56 and a piece after making a break in the first turn. It's a good mile for that filly. So I'm going to just chop that up to her learning to trot without hobbles on. I think we can root that out. I think we can. And then Path of Totality, as I said, we went through this before trying to set this filly up last year when she got here. Her lines were bad. We knew she was fast. Couldn't get her right. She's at the same place now. So I'm going to need some tinkering to get her feet underneath her, get her legs underneath her, and get her squared away, get her in a happier place. and then she'll come back swinging. Listen, we're going to beat those horses. We'll beat the class above those horses. We just need a comfortable, confident, sound filly. We'll get her there. So enough about those two. It was done. It's done with now. We'll move past it. We'll move on and turn the page and come get them another day. Now, yes, qualified today also. And for those of you who thought that maybe there was something going on, that, Irv was just stalling, I never bought that, because he doesn't need to stall. The guy's got a huge burn. He was taking his time because he loves the horse, and he really thinks he's got a good horse there. I think he's right. And that should have been on display today when you looked at the driver of Yes. It wasn't his son. It wasn't any one of the 7 or 8 guys that was there. 14 qualifiers. The paddock must have been full of drivers. Nope. Irv Miller went with the horse himself. He wanted to see what was going on. I talked to him afterwards. He said, Anthony, honestly, yeah. He said down the backstretch he was rough. Down the lane he was a little rough. He trained so much better last week at the farm and faster. I was really looking for 56 today, and 58 wasn't impressive. But at the same time, I could see some issues. Now, was it the clay track as opposed to the stone dust track? He said, I think we'll race him at Yonkers next week. If I got to do a tiny bit more work, fine. But I think we'll race him at Yonkers and see how he is. He said the issues he had in the past aren't issues. And he said the biggest problem we have is that just can't really put my finger on it. Okay. So that's where we're at with Yes. I guess it's not a high five or a super optimistic conversation I had with him, but at the same time, another horse. We know how quick this horse can put money together, and we know how fast he can go. So why don't we just, before he hurts himself, why don't we just take our time? Now, I didn't tell Irv anything. I assume he's going to race him next week at Yonkers. Let's take it one start at a time and see where that leads us with Yes. Fair? And then, of course, tonight, we have, or before that, this afternoon, right after Won My Heart made a break, So Admirable raced at Saratoga, second and 56. Looks like she raced pretty good. I know he was steadying her down the lane and kind of reached up and snatched a loss from the jaws of victory. But at the same time, I thought she raced well. Little bumpy down the lane, you can see that, but the more starts she gets and she makes without errors, the more likely it is she won't again. So great job by Mark Beckwith. Had a pretty good week this week. Second was Sweet Ambitions. A first and second was So Admirable. And now the only question that I had a couple of clients say, hey, where is Perfect Record? Mark said he trained him in 212. He's ready to go. But I guess in fairness to him, he didn't tell me where he was going. So I assume he'll be in to go at some point in the near future and race. Again, long summer for this guy now. He doesn't have any stakes till Freehold on the 23rd of September. So, for all intents and purposes, he's an Almores a 2-horse now. So that's fine. That's good. That's my girl races tonight. I'm expecting good things from her. Mama Knows Best, again, expecting big things from her. Also, Compass Rose DC went all the way to race in the mud out of the 9-hole at Scioto for $7,500. That sucks. But as I said to Jason, no more. We're going to race Compass Rose DC in the Meadows next week. We just got to move our pawns around a little better than we have, right? Just need to put the horses in the right place. Substitute Scioto for the Meadows for Compass Rose. That's a start. Get Path of Totality in a comfortable position. Start working on Won My Heart Hanover. Long season, the money she can make, she can only make once. So I really suspect come Christmas time, and you can go back and look at this video if you want, I really suspect that Won My Heart Hanover will have 60 to 70,000 made, a mark of 55 or 56. Not too shabby for a filly that didn't race at 2. Not too bad at all. So that's where we're at with today so far. Looking forward to That's My Girl tonight. Looking forward to Mama Knows Best. Getting the rest of the week underway. White Tiger drew the 9-hole. That's what you get. Drew the 9-hole in race 12. I have a lot to think about because in race 1, we have Spirit of Dio. So 11 races in between race 1 and race 12. And then the highlight of my week will be watching Jason McGinnis make his amateur driver debut with West 52nd Saturday afternoon at the Meadows. Wish him good luck. I will. Very, very happy with everything that's gone on except for 2 races today. I'm throwing out one my hard Hanover, and I know we'll get Path of Totality squared away. So bear with us. Give me a little bit more latitude. But as far as right now, Duke Dio, awesome today. Stonebridge Simba, awesome today. So Admirable, pretty awesome today. Horses racing tonight, and then tomorrow it all shapes up. First qualifier of the year for the babies. We have 20 of them going behind the gate, and it will be all streamed live for you. You can go to any of our social media platforms, or you can go to our website. If you're out there and you don't have any babies qualifying, but maybe you just want to watch the qualifiers, they'll all be streamed for you. So, with that, I will bid you adieu for the afternoon. That's French for goodbye, I think. Wish me some luck tonight. For my partners, good luck. And I will be talking to you all, I assume, tomorrow. Take care.